obviously you guys have been through some ups and some downs, but still together. So what is the secret here?
What you would say the secret is? What you
I
think?
mean, the secret would be you got to understand you're going to deal with a lot of criticism from people telling you how you should be in a relationship. And I don't think people understand me and Rasheeda have been married 25 years. First of all, we best friends. We're friends first. And, we could talk about a lot of things, but
In the world of reality TV, where relationships often face surprises, Rasheeda Frost found herself facing something that shook her to the core. Known for her strength and determination, Rasheeda had earned respect from fans for her loyalty to her family and her marriage to Kirk Frost. However, recently, an upsetting rumor started to spread, one that seemed to threaten everything she had worked for. At first, the rumors were just whispers, small pieces of talk that people shared among themselves. But as time passed, those whispers grew louder. The rumor was about Kirk, Rasheeda's husband, and his alleged connection to a woman named Jasmine. Jasmine wasn't a stranger to their marriage. She had caused problems before. Reports started claiming that Rasheeda had caught her husband in a private conversation with Jasmine, one that seemed more than just friendly. The conversation apparently hinted that Kirk was thinking about leaving Rasheeda for Jasmine, even going so far as to promise her a future together. The weight of this news felt overwhelming. It threatened everything Rasheeda had worked hard for. The love she thought she shared with Kirk, the family they had built, and the trust they had developed over the years. The rumors quickly spread all over social media and gossip columns, and Rasheeda couldn't help but wonder if there was any truth to them. Could Kirk really be considering leaving her for someone else? The thought of it hit her hard. It stirred up feelings of anger, sadness, and betrayal. Rasheeda had always been there for Kirk. Through the good and the bad, she had stood by him when others might have walked away. But now, the man she trusted seemed to be on the verge of breaking that trust. She couldn't shake the questions that kept running through her mind. Had Kirk truly changed? Or was he just drawn to the past? The idea that he could easily promise a future with someone else felt like a betrayal of everything they had worked on together. It wasn't just about Kirk and Jasmine, it was about the love and commitment Rasheeda thought she and Kirk had. What happened to the dreams they had shared, the life they had planned together? Rasheeda knew she couldn't let the rumors control her. She needed to face the situation directly. But how could she approach Kirk without letting her emotions get in the way? The idea of sitting down with him, of opening up about her fears and insecurities, made her feel both scared and determined. She knew she couldn't avoid the conversation any longer. She had to face him and demand the truth, no matter how difficult it might be. In the days leading up to their conversation, Rasheeda took time to reflect on their relationship. She thought back to the early days when they first met. The laughter, the dreams they shared, and the passion that had sparked their connection. But with each memory, the feeling of betrayal grew stronger. Was Kirk still the man she had fallen in love with? Or had he changed in ways she hadn't imagined? As the time to confront Kirk approached, Rasheeda turned to her friends and family for support. They stood by her, offering advice and encouragement. They reminded her of her strength and resilience, qualities that had always been part of who she was. Their support gave her the courage to face whatever truth lay ahead. Rasheeda knew that this conversation would be hard, but she also understood that it was necessary. The rumors had already caused so much damage. It was time to find out the truth, to see if the man she had loved for so long still felt committed to their marriage, or if he had truly moved on to someone else. She wasn't afraid to hear the truth, no matter how painful it might be. The more Rasheeda thought about it, the more she realized that this moment would determine the future of her relationship with Kirk. Would they be able to rebuild their trust? Or was this the end of the road for their marriage? She didn't have all the answers yet, but one thing was clear. She wasn't going to let the rumors take control of her life. She would take charge of her own story and demand the honesty she deserved. The conversation that was about to happen would be a turning point. It could either bring them closer together or tear apart everything they had built. But Rasheeda was ready to face whatever came next. She was prepared to stand up for herself, for her family, and for the life she had worked so hard to create. Through all the chaos, Rasheeda's strength never wavered. She had faced difficult situations before, and she was ready to face this, one with the same determination that had always kept her going. Walking into that conversation with Kirk, she knew it was time to demand answers, to get the truth, and to take charge of her own future. What had started as a simple rumor was now about to explode, but Rasheeda was prepared to handle whatever came her way. Rasheeda's journey wasn't just about confronting Kirk or dealing with the rumors. It was about getting back her power and sense of self. It was about making decisions for her own happiness, no matter what happened with her marriage. Rasheeda understood that she was strong enough to handle whatever life threw at her. She had always fought through tough times, and this was no different. The truth might hurt, but it would also set her free. In that moment, Rasheeda made a promise to herself. She would face whatever challenges came her way with grace and strength. Whether she had to move on from her relationship or start something new, she knew she would come out of it stronger, ready to embrace whatever the future had in store. As Rasheeda sat across from Kirk, her heart raced. She knew this conversation would decide everything. Though fear and anxiety filled her, there was also a sense of strength. No matter how things turned out, she believed she would come out of it stronger than before. Kirk looked concerned, but Rasheeda was determined to remain calm and focused. She had to tell him how she felt without holding back. The weight of the betrayal she felt in their relationship was heavy, but she knew she had to confront him about it. But Kirk made it difficult. His answers were vague, as if he was trying to avoid the real issues. He danced around the important questions, and the more he spoke, the more Rasheeda's frustration grew. It felt like they had reached a breaking point. The choice was clear. Either they would work through this and heal, or they would be left with more hurt and heartbreak. Rasheeda took a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. She had to stay in control, but there was no way she could avoid the tough questions. She looked him straight in the eyes and asked if he had promised anything to Jasmine, if he had ever thought about leaving her. The silence that followed was deafening. His hesitation to answer spoke volumes. Rasheeda's heart sank as she realized that Kirk wasn't being entirely truthful with her. In that moment, something inside her clicked. She realized that she couldn't let his decisions control her happiness. The pain of possible betrayal was tough to bear, but she knew deep down that her worth wasn't tied to what Kirk did or didn't do. It was time to focus on herself. Rasheeda began to focus more on her career and personal development. After everything that had happened, she realized it was time to invest in the things that truly made her happy. Fashion and music had always been passions of hers, but for a while, they had taken a backseat to other distractions. Now, she dedicated more time to these creative outlets, allowing herself to reconnect with the woman she was before everything got complicated. As she embraced her passions again, Rasheeda started to feel like herself again. Even though her heart had been broken, she refused to let it define who she was or how she moved forward. As weeks passed, Rasheeda's journey turned into one of self-discovery. She started to recognize the inner strength she had all along. She realized that she had the power to shape her own future and that her happiness wasn't dependent on anyone else. While the hurt from the rumors and gossip still lingered, they no longer controlled her. In fact, those whispers only pushed her further into taking charge of her own story. The more others tried to define her, the more determined she became to define herself. She wasn't going to let anyone else's opinions or actions dictate her happiness. She was in control of her own life. With every passing day, Rasheeda grew stronger in her sense of self. She understood that no matter the outcome of her relationship, she would emerge from this difficult chapter with greater resilience. It wasn't about avoiding pain or trying to dodge heartbreak. It was about standing firm in who she was, trusting herself, and moving forward no matter the setbacks. She had learned that life isn't perfect, and sometimes the only way to get through hard times is to embrace them and grow from the experience. Rasheeda's story goes beyond just betrayal or the end of a relationship. It's a story of resilience, strength, and empowerment. Reality TV often puts relationships under a microscope, and people can be quick to judge. But Rasheeda's journey reminds us all that even in the face of uncertainty, we have the power to rise above. True strength comes from embracing self-love and facing challenges head-on, even when the truth is tough to swallow. As she continues to navigate this difficult chapter in her life, Rasheeda remains focused on her own well-being. She knows that even in the darkest moments, there is always a glimmer of hope. With strength, courage, and self-love, she will continue to move forward, no matter what life throws her way. Her story is a testament to the power of believing in yourself and staying true to who you are.